Hey guys, thank you for stopping by my channel. If you like the videos, then make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. If you want to leave any feedback, that's always appreciated down in the comments. And if you want to keep up with this series as well as my other projects, then go ahead and join our Discord, which is on the screen. Take care, nerds. Now on to the video. Hey guys, welcome to episode 9 of my Discord.js bot development series. So it's a new year. Happy New Year to those who are watching. And I do know it has been a while since I recorded, but I've been quite busy with other projects and I haven't been able to dedicate that much time to YouTube as I would like. But it's a new year and I have plans to put more into YouTube regarding Discord.js and other projects I have in mind. And I probably will be doing some sort of channel update video in the near future, either this week or next week. So you guys know what I have in mind for this channel and Nerd Cave development in general and what I plan on doing. So with that said, I think we should go ahead and jump right into the video. So before I mention that, I want to say that I made some changes to my Visual Studio Code, just some new extensions and themes and such, just to help my development process a little bit more and see like how I can work with being more productive in Visual Studio. So some of the new extensions that I got was material theme, which just looks really neat. I'm using one of the material themes right now. Polo code, I can take like screenshots of my code. I'm still working with that a little bit. And just some other tips and kind of like tricks on the Visual Studio Code. I actually found out from a Medium article, which I'll also link in the description, and I recommend you read that if you kind of want to be more productive when using Visual Studio Code. So just let you know, like if you're seeing some different things in my Visual Studio. Anyways, let's jump into the video and talk about what we're doing today. So today we're building a command, since it was got quite a few questions about in my previous video, like because the roles command is only limited to the user who sends the command. So if I just go ahead and do node, you'll see just roles, and you'll see a list of available roles. Ignore this typo. But the problem with this is that only one user at a time can use this, since it's tied to the user ID, as you see with the filter. Hold on, guys. Gotta get the phone. Sorry. Alright, I'm back, guys. So here in the filter, we restrict it to so only the emojis that we want to be filtered out, as well as only the user ID, the user who ran the command here. So the problem with that is, let's say if you had some sort of welcome channel and you want users at any time to add themselves to a new role or remove themselves from a role. The problem with this command is you can't really do that. So since I got a few questions about that in the previous video, I thought, well, I should go ahead and show how to take the roles command and take that functionality into a welcome channel of some sorts. For example, this isn't like exactly how I'm going to be doing the video, but in this channel, when you first join the Nerd Cave development Discord, you have to read the rules. And once you read the rules, you come back here and just react to this message. And when you do so, you'll be added to the default role, the nerds. So that's how that works. And I think I'm going to do a video about that in the future if you're interested. If you are, just leave a comment below. So that's a little bit the premise of the functionality of that command. Anyways, to set up the welcome roles, we're going to have to utilize two new events. And that's going to be the message reaction add and message reaction remove events. So we go over here, and these two events fire whenever a message has a reaction added or removed when the message is cached. And that's kind of the key thing here, is you have to make sure that the message is cached. If the message is not in cache, it won't detect the event won't fire for that specific message, any reactions on it. But I'm going to show you how to make sure that message is in cache on like the bot load, or like basically the messages in the welcome channel are cached. And now we're going to be doing that in the ready event, so when the bot starts up. But we'll get to that a bit later. Anyways, both of these events take two parameters, message reaction and user. So the message reaction has a couple different properties and a few methods as well, fetch, users, or remove. And the user is not as different from the guild member, which we talked about in, I think, one of my earlier videos regarding like roles and stuff like that. But this is the two parameters that we're taking in. So to start off, I have the command already here prepared and just some notes on what we're going to be doing. So first, we're going to use the message reaction add and message reaction remove events to add and remove users from roles. We're also going to remove the await reactions function, as we won't need that at all, since we're handling adding and removing members from a role in the message reaction add and remove events. And then we're going to customize the message a little bit more so it kind of fits the theme of a welcome channel. So with that said, I'm just going to copy and paste all this code from the roles command. And go ahead, paste it in here and fix this since I don't like how it does that. Alright, so first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and delete this await reactions function. Actually, I do have the message reaction add and events already created, so that's just empty right now, but just to show you that I do have those events already in place. Anyways, let's go ahead and remove that function since we won't be needing that anymore. And all we're just going to handle here is adding the reactions to the message. Then we're going to customize this message and fix that typo. And this message can be whatever you like. I'm just going to say like, welcome to the server. Please, you can choose from our list of available roles to join and leave from. Okay, so next, let's make sure we delete this filter as well, as we're not going to need it. So this is how your welcome roles command is going to look. We're not going to have any logic regarding how messages, there's not going to be any logic in here of how users are going to be added or removed from a role, and just basically we're just sending a message, adding a couple reactions. That's it. Okay, so two things real quick. First, about the difference between the roles command and the welcome roles command. The roles command is meant to be used anywhere by any user. It's a public command. It can be ran like a general or bots channel, and that's so users can like specifically choose a list of public roles. However, the welcome roles command is meant to be used in the welcome channel, so an admin will post that message and it'll stay there. Anyone can go back to that channel and set the roles if they don't know about the roles command in general. Another thing is you should have permissions set in place on the welcome roles so only an admin can use the command. In a future video, I will get a little bit more into different permissions, and you can use that video to go back to this welcome roles command and set up proper permissions so that everyone can use the command. So we're going to go ahead and open up the message reaction add event, and we're going to add a few variables here. So the first one is message. And this is so we don't have to do message reaction.message.guild. Instead, we can just do message.guild. And you can't have this as message. This has to be message reaction user, as you have to use the parameters that's explicitly defined for this. You have to use, like, the functionality of these parameters have to be used. So I'm gonna do const message equals message reaction that message. And we won't be using this everywhere. It's just this helps in this case. Then next, we're gonna get the channel, and we're going to restrict it to the welcome channel that we have set up here. So here, like I said, we can do message.guild.channels.find, similar to how we do different functions on collections, as I talked about in previous videos. C.name equals welcome. And we're going to have to get the user from the guild. So we're just basically converting the user to a guild member, and by doing that, we're going to do const member equals message dot guild dot members dot get, and we're going to do user ID. So when you're doing dot get, you have to pass in the ID as the parameter, as the argument. Then we're going to make sure that we're ignoring any bots, because if we don't, then sometimes like the reaction might be removed, especially in the message reaction remove event. The reaction may be removed from the bot and that'll cause issues. So we're just going to ignore any bots here. So if member.user.bot, we're just going to do return. Then next, we're just going to add in the roles here. Alrighty. So next, we are going to implement a filter similar to what we have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this, but change a few things. So instead of doing user.id equals message.author.id, we're going to do if message.channel.id equals channel.id. And that makes sure that it's only listening for reactions in any messages in the welcome channel. And excuse me, here we're going to do message reaction .emoji.name. Alrighty, so we're gonna have a switch statement here again, and that's just gonna be message reaction emoji.name, and we're going to do case and then each of the emojis here. Always make sure you put a break at the end of your switch cases. Break, and we're going to put the last one C. Also, I mentioned this in the last video too, but these emojis can be whatever you want. You can use whatever roles that you want. I'm just using this for testing. So that's why I just chose A, B, and C. You can see, as I mentioned, that if you go back to the previous video. And I suggest you do, if you're not too familiar, how to work with await reactions. So it'll probably be in the top right. You can click or tap that button and you can go ahead and view how to use the await reactions function. And then we're just going to do a default and break. So now we have this. What we can do is we can just do member.add role and then a role. So since this is the A reaction, we want to make sure we're adding a role. And then we're going to do catch, and then so if there's an error of some sorts, we'll just log that error in console. And then B, and then C. And that's basically it for the message reaction add. So we're going to go ahead and test things to make sure that I didn't break anything. And we're going to go over to the welcome channel, and we're going to type in welcome roles and check console, make sure there's no errors. I might actually change this to guild ID, so let me go over and do that real quick. Guild ID message dot guild ID. All right, so we are in no roles right now, so we go to moderator. We add to moderator, we go to administrator. Okay, and then developer. I think the bot should be able to add me to developer. Let me make sure it removed me. All right, and developer. Yep, so it added me to all the roles. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in a functionality. So when I remove the reaction, it will remove me from the role. And it's going to be basically a copy and paste from this message reaction add. We're just going to change it to remove role. That's all. So I'm basically just going to copy and paste this and open up message reaction remove. And I'm just going to change this to remove role. Remove role. remove role. All right, and let me delete this message and remove myself from developer here. And we're gonna run the command and make sure that roles are properly being removed. So there goes moderator, which I've been added to, administrator, and developer. And then remove myself from developer. I'm back down to administrator. Remove myself from administrator. I'm back to moderator. And remove myself from moderator. I have no roles here. So that functionality is out of the way. So if you remember what I said earlier about cached messages, that's the key thing here. Now, if I restart the bot, it's going to clear the cache. And best way I can kind of like explain cache is when you, for example, when you visit a website, or even here in the Discord JS documentation, if I turn on dark mode, that's going to save in my cache or local storage, one of the two. I'm not sure which one. I'm not going to check here. But some sites might even save it in local storage on your browser or in cache. And when you visit the site again, it will remember that, oh, in your cache it says dark mode enabled, so it will keep dark mode enabled. Same if you go to YouTube, you sign in, or actually, let me pick a better example. So you go to Amazon and you're ordering a product, and you add some items to your cart, but you leave, you close your browser, shut down your computer. You come back, those items are still in your cart. That's because of cache. So that's how cache works. But here, how Discord.js works by default is that when you restart the bot, it's going to clear the cache from your bot. So that's why we're going to have to fetch messages, which I'll show you. So I go to text channel, fetch messages. And we're going to be using this method here to fetch the messages from the welcome channel. And I'm going to apply like a limit, maybe like 10, since you're not going to have that many messages in this channel. But we're going to fetch the messages, so that's those past messages are now in cache when the bot starts up. Therefore, it can access the message and the reactions on that message. So I'll show you here. I'm going to restart the bot. And since this message was sent previously, I'm not going to be added to the moderator role, or the administrator role, or the developer role. And let's say if I give myself administrator role, and I remove myself, it's not going to do that because it's not in cache. So what we're going to have to do now is we're going to go over to the ready event. And again, if you remember, the ready event is fired when the bot starts up. And we're going to go ahead and get this channel here. So there's two ways you can do this. You could first get the guild by doing client.guilds.get and then the guild ID, or you can use the find method on the collection and get it by the guild name. And then you can get the channel from there. Or you can just do client.channels.get or client.channels.find and go that way. However way you do it, it's up to you. But for simplicity here, I'm just going to do client.channels.get. And I'm going to get the client.channels.find. So I'm going to do const channel, I'm going to do const welcome equals client.channels.find c.name equals welcome. So now we have that, and then we're going to do welcome that fetch messages, and then we're going to apply a limit of 10. And if you want, you can do like dot then, and then like console.log fetched. So you do, say if you do collected, this is gonna get a collection. So you can do like console.log fetched. You can do temple literals here, but I'm just doing this like real quick. Collected dot size. Then we're going to do dot catch console dot error. So now we start up the bot. It's going to, after it like says logged in, it's going to fetch the messages, and it says fetched one. And messages. I'm just going to do that. So now, even though this message was sent previously, if I go ahead and add a reaction, I'm added to the moderator role, removed from it. Added to administrator, removed. And added to developer, and I'm removed from it. Just like that. So in cases like this, because if I didn't include this part in, then you guys will leave a bunch of comments probably if you're not that familiar with Discord.js or cache, and you'll say, well, Anthony, after I restart the bot, the message, it's not doing anything anymore. My code's not working. So that's why it's important that you know a little bit about cache. I might find like some article online about cache so you can get a little bit more familiar with that and how it works. But just one thing you want to remember is, in this case, since you're going to have like a welcome channel, you're not going to be updating it that much, you're going to want to make sure you have those messages in cache when the bot is started up or loaded. And there's other methods that you can use to cache, like Redis, that's popular for caching. I'm not going to go into that really, but just letting you know. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the video as we covered the message reaction add and message reaction remove events, the welcome rows command, which you can use in the welcome channel of yours, and the ready event to make sure that those messages are cached whenever the bot is loaded from the cached from the welcome channel. So that's it, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me in this video if you watched up to this point. Make sure to check back for future videos. I have some lined up in mind, and we'll be releasing those videos throughout the next following weeks, and as well as probably some channel update type of video. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys all take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, nerds.